Welcome to Fashionable Trash Talk. I'm your host, Ashley Aaliyah. Here I analyze and discuss the fashion of celebrities and anyone influential. On today's episode of Fashionable Trash Talk, I am doing the fashion evolution of Kimora Lee Simmons. I love her so much, and I'm excited to do this because it's been a while since I've done someone who I was excited to do. I've pretty much been doing the request of you guys because, this is y'all channel at the end of the day. So this one I am very excited about. One, because I love Kimora Lee Simmons. Two, she is like my fashion anchor for my personal style. Three, throughout the majority of my life, people have always said I look like her. Now, I'm not saying I do, but people always say that I look like Kimora Lee Simmons, and that is one of the best compliments that I always get. So I love her so much. And I have a Taurus moon, and Kimora Lee Simmons is a Taurus sun. So I have a personal connection with her in my mind because I just think she is so amazing when it comes to fashion and curating an overall image. And let's be honest, bad bitch persona. Okay, so Kimora Lee Simmons started her fashion journey career at 13. Her family flew her to Paris to work with like some scouts over there. Eventually, she signed a contract with Chanel, working with Karl Lagerfeld. This was one of the first times that people ever seen like a designer and a model have that model muse type of relationship, especially a mixed, multicultural, basically someone who looked black and mixed, had that type of relationship with a designer. From working with Chanel, she ended one of the Chanel shows as like the bride, and that was iconic. And then eventually that led to her working with different brands like Fendi, Yves Saint Laurent, amongst plenty more. And after she finished her modeling career, she went into fashion, and we all know baby fat. And I love Kimora so much because I feel like she is someone who has dedicated her entire life to fashion in the industry. And I feel like her style is something that we have never seen before. And I don't think we still haven't seen anything that has come close to someone who has fully embodied glamour in the way that she has, and just being luxurious in the same capacity that she has. Kimora, like I said, she's my style anchor because I just feel like so much of her fashion is just so over the top, innovative, again, luxe, glamorous, stylish. The way she puts prints and colors and things together, people are not that brave in that same capacity, And I just feel like she has always been consistent. And also her love of furs and animal prints and bling, that is right up my alley. Also, what I love about models, but what I especially love about Kimora Lee Simmons is that how she put on for the tall girlies. I am 5'7.5". I always run it up to 5'8", and I feel like when it comes to height, there's always so many stereotypes around it being super masculine, or you playing basketball and all these different things, or you liking the same sex. And I don't think it has always been a space for tallness to still be considered feminine, and that's why I always loved fashion and models, because they've represented just because I'm tall don't mean I want to pick up a basketball. Like, get the hell out my face with that. And like the way she just always embodied femininity is just like 10 out of 10. Like, I love her so much because I just feel like she just always put on for the tall girls, especially like tall black girls. And again, I know she's mixed, but it's just the style, the fashion, the attitude, the confidence, all that she's always exuded. And it's just so much to be said about how she has orchestrated and navigated the brand that was Baby Fat. Now, Kimora Lee Simmons put the culture on her back with Baby Fat, okay? Especially for women's wear. And I think Kimora can be a lesson to a lot of the young ladies who are either musicians, actresses, influencers, whatever. I think she can be a lesson to them. Kimora merged her high fashion model world with urban black fashion. And she positioned it in a way where she showed them that our culture is just as important as theirs. And she put it on the runway and she gave it due diligence. And she did this all along while not compromising her blackness in the sense of how the brand was geared in the culture. She did not whitewash her brand. And although the models were, diverse and things like that, it never gave that she was trying to give one of the white fashion brands. It was just such a tastemaker brand in black culture. And she was good at it. Her cosmetic line and all those things. She was just amazing at it. And the why I say this should be a lesson to a lot of the black girls that's coming in now is that a lot of the artists we see, and I speak about this in my reviews and things all the time, is that so much of their fashion is geared towards acclimating into whiteness and what white people see as high fashion. In our culture, urban does not mean ghetto, and I really need people to understand that, is that our culture gets put to the wayside. So all the taste, the flavor, the flair of color, the diamonds, the prints, all of those things just get pushed to the wayside to do these very monotone looks that are extremely safe and things that, like white people do in the sense of fashion, like how they gear a lot of their brands. Black people are now doing that with their images and they're wondering why it falls flat. And I'll say this. If they have a Selena Gomez, and I know she's Hispanic, but she's white adjacent when it comes to branding, they don't need you. If they have a Taylor Swift, they don't need you. If they have a Kylie Jenner or a Hailey Bieber, they don't need you. So I'm saying that to say is that do our culture. That's what's missing. The blackness in fashion is missing. If they have these white women who have proven to be lucrative and have these damn near cult followings, they don't need a Diet Pepsi black version of these white girls. And this is what I be needing people to understand. And so we have so many artists who, I don't want to be too black, too urban, that's doing this. And then you wondering why the music's not selling. The movies aren't selling. If you're an influencer, why the brand you just partner with, it's not moving and shaking and none of that. It's because you don't have no flavor. You don't have no flavor. There's no blackness. Where is the urban aspect? And it's just like, I love how Kimora just stood 10 toes in it and putting Baby Fat up on the pedestal of like, our fashion is just as important, if not more important than y'all. Our fashion is what tastemakers are made of. And how she was just so engulfed in black culture and around black stylists, fellow black models, black rappers. It's just like, I love Kimora so much. And again, she is one of the most glamorous, luxurious women in fashion. So again, I really need the girls to stop thinking that urban and black equates to ghetto, because you literally have Kimora Lee Simmons and the legacy that is Baby Fat that is showing y'all and telling y'all that it's nothing of the sort. You don't see, and honestly, the garments and stuff that was structured is way better than half of the stuff that the girls be trying to wear now, all like the overly revealing and showing your nipples and this is cut out, but it's all cheap fabric. And it's just like, y'all trying so hard, because either what they're doing is either they're trying to be like the plain S white girls, or they think they're giving like edgy rocker white girl. And it's just like, y'all not giving none of it. And half of y'all is looking cheap. And you're just looking cheap and corny and boring and plain. Y'all need to get some sauce and get some drip back to y'all and bring it back to the culture and y'all fashion and y'all images. And maybe you'll get a record or two that'll be pushed and moved. Or maybe the girls will start to notice you in the fashion conversation and will want to come see your movies, or again, want to tune into your content. But don't nobody listen. The things that Kimora did with Baby Fat, and her image overall, it just always kept you enticed, entertained. Even when she went to reality TV, it's just like the dream. Like if you are a fashion girl and like a fashion black girl, you want to kind of see where you can go. It's like Kimora Lee Simmons' life in fashion was the things of a black fashion girl's wildest dreams. And she just kept taking it further and further and further. And she really showed us that there is no ceiling and that there is no limitation when it comes to us and being black in fashion. I also really enjoyed Video Vixen Kimora Lee Simmons as well. I don't think we talk about that enough either. But to bring this home, since it is Mother's Day, I think we have to acknowledge how much another influence that Kimora Lee Simmons has had is how she reframed and redirected the image of what being a mother is and what it looks like. Usually you see images of people being mothers and it's so daunting. It looks extremely exhausting. The moms always look tired and it always gives like a labor of love. And if you are someone who kind of didn't want the Susie Homemaker life, but you still desired children, if you kind of see that image, it can be a bit daunting. But Kimora Lee Simmons made being a mother look so glamorous, so luxurious. You see the babies on the runway. You see her kids from like start to adults just always involved like in her business and around. And just kind of like a mother's dream if you're into fashion, like, because, you know, you can't guarantee that your kids will have the same interests as you, but to see her daughters blossom into beautiful young women and hop in on the runway and be a part of her marketing for the revamp of Baby Fat and all of that, and just to dress them up like little Barbies and to see them with her fashion friends. It was a game changer. She has her sons and stuff too, but I feel like the first two is really like where you seen a lot of just like, okay, I guess I can probably be a mom too if I see Kimora doing it like this. Because I'm not gonna lie, like she's mom goals for me, and people can have whatever opinions they have about her personal life and who she got married to and stuff like that. But when I become a mom, this is how I see myself being a mom. Having my nannies, the night nurse, still getting help, being glamorous, being luxurious, showing up for my babies, still being there. But I don't have a desire to be like that exhausted, I sacrificed everything for you guys type of mom. To see Kimora have those children and still be successful in her career and still engulf that family life into her career, I think it's not acknowledged enough, you know, of just how motherhood can look differently. And then for her to go on and have more kids after that. But I just feel like the most iconic moment of her being a mom is when Baby Fat was at his peak, and, you know, then she had her son and you just see them all on the runway and stuff. And I just think, you know, since it's Mother's Day, I thought it was nice to just highlight her because she is one of the few people in fashion who showed what being a active mother and parent and wife and all those things look like while still holding down your career. And I just don't think she ever gets enough flowers for that, especially with her being a Black woman. It's just, I love Kimora Lee Simmons so much. Okay, y'all, so that concludes this episode of the evolution of style and fashion of Kimora Lee Simmons. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. And happy Mother's Day to all the mommies out there.